Worksquare.
So let's get started. My name is Blessing, in case you're just seeing it for the first time. My name is Blessing Njoku. I'm a software engineer and talent manager for Tribesquare. So today we are having the senior developers virtual lab where you're going to be few things about AI that could help you work better as a senior engineer. MCP, a lot of other facilitator has been taught for everyone. You need to sit back. We're going to dive in shortly. So in case it's supposed to be here, kindly invite them so that I spend time with them to join quickly. About to start. So before we get started into the program proper, let's have a quick chat about Worksquare and Tribesquare. So this event is brought to you by Tribesquare, and Tribesquare platform that outsource engineers and also grooms developers in different levels. So works their talent community for so at Worksquare actually vet developers for our clients. So we vet developers and we outsource them to different clients. So at Worksquare we try to okay, yes, this event is recorded. And at the end of the event, you're going to get access to it on our channel. So definitely you have access to it. And some other resources we're going to be attached to it at the end of the event. Good. Good. So if you have questions, I can see questions in the chat. And feel free to drop your questions. I'm going to be addressing them along the way. So back to what we said. So Tribesquare helps you manage your developers, helps you manage your projects, and helps you source for capable hands through Worksquare. So Worksquare is the developer community. At Worksquare, we vet for clients. We try to come up with lab events to help developers advance in their skills. Event like this one. So in case you are interested. Because you need to be interested in joining us actually, because a lot of developers have gotten jobs, and this is where a lot of we are planning to actually bring more things into the community, things that will benefit a lot of developers in terms of their skills, in terms of their personal project. We have a lot we're going to be unfolding in the community. So you should still join in the community at the end of this event. Should definitely anticipate to join the community at the end of this particular event. So during the before we get into it proper, if you have any questions, make sure to drop chat. I'm going to address. If you have any you want to point out, make sure to drop in the chat. And if you want to check out our social media, Tribesquare on Tribesquare on Instagram, Twitter, same thing for Tribesquare. Then we have for Worksquare, that's yes, Worksquare. So we have it here. Um, share, share, different chats and ideas. We're going to start a minute. We're going to start soon. So I say, if you're not following us yet, you should follow us on all social media platforms. If you have more questions about Worksquare and Tribesquare, you can always ask, drop it in chat, and we'll address it by the end of the, or before the end of the evening. So once again, my name is Blessing Njoku. I'm a software engineer, talent manager for Worksquare. So this event is going to be recorded for people who have been asking. It's going to be recorded and it's going to be posted on our channel for you to go over it again. So the thing is participating is a lot. Our facilitator is going to be walking you through demos, concepts, design thinking, and a lot of things actually that we have at this event. So sit tight. So I'm going to be introducing our facilitator in a minute. So let's quickly talk about who we are having a facilitator. So he's part of our community as a workshop community. He's someone that has spent many years building different solutions, building different solutions. He has he's passionate about AI. He's the CTO of Shift, and he's also building AI infrastructure for government and businesses. He's someone that is really, really big when it comes to AI. He's someone that is passionate about AI. And obviously, the world is changing now. A lot of things have changed, and a lot of people are moving into AI. Does my voice sound muffled, please? Can someone confirm that? Does my voice sound muffled? If it does, can someone please confirm in the chat? Can you all hear me clearly, please? It did? Okay. It did. Clear? Is it clear now? Do I need to increase my? Okay, I think I know what that is. So give me a minute, please. So does this sound muffled? Is it better now? Is my voice? Just confirm it's clear now. Oh, so I have to repeat everything I just said. Oh no. Okay. For people who didn't hear me, okay, I can see the thumbs up in the chat. So I'm going to repeat that. My name is Blessing Njoku. I'm a software engineer and talent manager for Tribesquare. So you're welcome to Senior Guys Virtual Lab sponsored by Tribesquare. So so in this case, Tribesquare is a platform that helps build engineering teams, outsource developers to different companies, manage developers through Worksquare. Worksquare is the community. At Worksquare, we test engineers for our clients. So we are focused on vetting engineers, helping engineers get better through events like this, newsletters, through mentorships. We have a lot of parts that is still coming up in the community. So you should please, if you're part of the community, ask a lot from it. So back to what I was saying about our facilitator. Our facilitator coming up in the next 2 minutes. So who is this person that's going to be teaching us about AI? His name is Samson Odo. He's someone who is passionate about AI. He's CEO of Nose Shifts. He has been building native AI for a while now, and he's a senior engineer. So anything he tells you, he knows his onion. So better take your pen and paper. If you don't have your pen and paper now, I think you should grab one because you're about to learn a lot. You're about to learn a lot from him. The purpose of this lab is to developers with different ideas, design thinking, system thinking, shift your mind away from the regular, maybe if you're manual, shift your mind away from manual. Let's go into AI automations. Let's try to automate some things. So this is why we are having this lab to help you as much as possible to help you and enlighten you about AI, because that's where everyone is going now. Even though everybody's saying the AI is going to take our job. Well, I don't believe it's going to take our job. It's just going to take the job of we adapt to it. So in case you have refused to adapt to AI, I think you might fall into that category of people that AI will take their jobs. Okay, so let me stop talking and let our facilitator take off from here.
Hello, everyone. Am I coming through clearly? Well, okay, great. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Senior Developers Virtual Lab. So my name is Samson Odo. I'm the founder, CTO of NodeShift Nigeria. And today we're going to be covering a range of topics that are crucial for modern software development. A few of the things, hold on while I share my screen. Yeah. So we're going to be covering a few topics today that would be very beneficial for anyone in the software development space. One of the things we'll be covering are AI tools and how they can enhance your workflow, as well as systems thinking for building better apps and faster, stronger workflows. Smarter AI systems that assist your coding, debugging, and other steps in the process, as well as one of the hottest topics in AI now, retrieval augmented development, which is also known as RAG. So we're going to be looking at all of these topics briefly, and we will have a few demos to show you how these things are actually working. So yeah, let's start. If you could just give me a minute. Sorry, having some technical difficulties here. Okay. All right. So let's start with the shift that's happening in the tech space. With the rise of AI tools, developers are able to build faster and with improved accuracy. But both of these things heavily depend on context. If you don't have enough context, you're just going to be building things that might not even be directly useful to what you need at this point in time. So context is just the extra pieces of information that helps your AI tool better understand what you're trying to do. So you have to consider things like, is it coding in the correct language for the stack? Is it pulling the right dependencies? Is it aligned with the application, with the architecture of the application you're trying to build? Take, for example, you're building a pop-up for a component in React. If the AI codes that pop-up and just puts it in the wrong file, it's technically doing the right thing, but for the purpose of what you need it to do, that might not be the right course of action. So it's these small things that can end up turning into bigger problems in production and wrecking your code base. So context is actually crucial to AI-assisted software development. And this is why it's so important, because you can't just ask an AI to code for you without understanding the rest of the system. It will just go fast in the wrong direction. So that brings us to systems thinking. At its core, systems thinking is about seeing the big picture. It's about understanding how every part of a system interacts with every other part. So you're basically going from thinking in separate, isolated components to considering flows, relationships, and impacts. So in software, nothing exists in a vacuum. If you're building something, you also have to consider, as you're building your code in the front end, you have to consider the back end, the data that flows through your systems, the algorithms that power the software, and the infrastructure that holds everything together. So all of these things are major considerations that you have to make along the way. Now, it's important that every developer has a solid understanding of the system they're working on and that these elements interact with each other, because that's the only way to secure the impact you're looking for. And impacts can be subjective to some people. For some people, impact can be promotion or an award, but for some people, it could be this. So either way, to truly operate at a senior level using AI, you need to zoom out. You need to build with awareness of the major elements involved. Now, you don't need to be an expert at every single one of these things. You just need to know enough that it doesn't affect what you're doing, and that, your lack of expertise in those areas don't become a problem to you. So that way you won't be constantly fixing weird bugs that you can't even explain because no one seems to know what's causing them. So imagine building a house. The code serves as your bricks, forming the invisible structure. The foundation, that's your data. It's usually invisible, but absolutely critical. Then you also have the wiring and plumbing, which are your algorithms. They're hidden from the user, but very essential for everything to function. And then the overall structure is the house itself. So that's the system. If the foundation is weak, the house cracks. If the wiring is faulty, the systems are going to short circuit. If you have bad plumbing, you're going to have flooded rooms in the house. So you don't always, the same way you don't need to be an architect to see a house that's badly designed, is also the same way your users can easily recognize an app or a software that wasn't coded properly. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Each system is a building, but not every building is the same. Just like in architecture, not all the buildings are built the same way, and this is the same with software. A bank system prioritizes security and consistency. A stadium, sort of like a live streaming app, prioritizes scale and throughput. A factory focuses on efficiency and workflow, while an office building represents productivity tools optimized for interaction and integration. And this could be your vibe coded app that can handle more than 5 users at a time. So at the end of the day, these are all systems, but the integration of the individual units in these systems is what defines what they can do and what value they are to people and society in general. So as a senior developer, your job is to recognize what kind of system you're building and think like an architect or product manager while AI does all the boring work. Now we're moving on to smarter AI systems. The first thing we need to understand is that you're we're all familiar with AI tools. We all use AI tools to some capacity, but when it comes to software development, the major thing you need to consider is context management. This is basically what helps your AI have the capacity to build for you in a way that's actually productive. So if you sent a prompt to AI, for example, you obviously can't put your entire history into that one prompt. You just ask for what you need and describe it as much as possible, and then it gives you a response based off of that. But if this AI is disconnected from your systems, your code, your algorithms, your data, then it's very likely that it will give you something that might not be the best solution. So it might work, but it's probably not exactly what you need. And now there are two types of context management situations. There is zero-shot prompting and context-aware prompting. Zero-shot prompting is where you're just prompting the AI with no prior information and you're getting a response back. But this response is not really connected to your code or your database or anything else. So it's kind of like this single interaction that's not connected to anything else. But with context-aware prompting, your prompt actually includes or is supported by context from your actual systems. So here you have two prompts, the one on the left where you're just asking directly, and the AI simply takes the question you've asked, searches through its database, tries to give you the most accurate answer it can, but that answer might not be linked, sorry about that, might not be really linked to your data. So chances of it just giving you something random are very high. But when you're working with context, where the AI works with the source of truth, it could be your code, your data, or your architecture, it provides a far better response. So we're going to be talking a lot about this second part, how context can be used, why it should be used, and how it can drastically improve your workflow. This is an app I built about a week ago. It was supposed to be a personal AI assistant, but there was something wrong with the context layer. So it wasn't storing memory past the immediate response. So it turned into this hilarious situation. I typed, my name is Smith, and it said, hello, Smith, how can I assist you? The next line, what is my name? And it responded, your name is Echo. How can I assist you today? No, you're Echo. And this conversation just died. It felt like the AI was drunk because now it says, no, I'm not Echo. I'm here to assist you. So I asked again, what is your name? And in complete contradiction to what it said earlier, it says, hello, I'm Echo. How can I assist you? So you would think that an AI with all the intelligence in the world could at least remember its name, but that's what happens when you don't have context. It just keeps breaking. So basically, the only time this thing is working efficiently is when it receives a prompt and it's giving me a response. Anything beyond that, it's a completely new session. So that's why context management is so important, because imagine you're using something like this to code a website. You build the homepage, it does it beautifully, all the elements are there. And then you say, okay, let's build the contact us page. And then it just says, okay, we're deleting your homepage now. It's like, no, that's not what that's not what I wanted. I wanted a new page, right? But because it's not chaining this information together, you just keep running into problems. So the first type of context management is we're dealing with two forms of context management. And the first one is modular context workflow. So in this place or in this form, basically what happens is we have multiple AI agents working for us, And each of these AI agents have their own context. So um, this agent is not concerned with what the other agent is doing. Neither is this concerned with the other. So it's just separate functions. For example, one might write the business plan, while the next one writes the software architecture. The third one will debug the actual code, and the last one handles documentation. So basically, the only thing flowing between these models are the processed data. This one does its work, hands it off to the next one. It does what it needs to do, hands it off, and it continues like that until you have a finished product. And this is actually something we're going to demo in just a few minutes. So I'll just need a minute to catch my breath and we'll get started on the demo. Great. Okay. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Great. So we will be working with Zapier for this demo. There's already a Google worksheet that's going to show the output from these agents that we're working with. And what we want to do basically is we have this worksheet where we're going to be putting business ideas, and the parameters are simple, just idea, category, industry, country. And what we'll do is we'll have multiple AI agents process this information and provide results for us. So the first one will take the idea, process it to provide product requirements for what we'll need to build the pages that we need. And then we'll have another agent take this information and then provide the development process. And all of that will be done through Zapier with no code automation. Now, the setup has already been done, but the file will be shared in the Slack communities. This was done just to save time, but I'll still walk you through all the steps involved. So the first thing we do is, okay, let me just go back to the home page. So it's not too, yeah. So I'm just going to check my Zaps. A Zap is basically an automated workflow. It's like a string of steps that the project is supposed to run through. So modular context workflow, and we're going to edit this Zap. So as you can see here, the Google Sheets is the very first one. And what happens is we're using the Google Sheets app, and the trigger event, the event that's going to start everything, is when there's a new or updated spreadsheet row. So it's already been linked to an account, and now we will configure it by selecting the worksheets. We select the particular the spreadsheet, sorry, and then the worksheet is inputs since we're just starting, and the trigger column is country. And this is for a specific reason, because since the country is the last, sorry. The country is the last column in the row. So basically, when you put your idea, you want it to be the last one to receive the input, so they have all the information before it starts. So we'll start off with a business idea. Let's say junior for GitHub repos. Just something very random to start. Category, e-commerce. Oh no, let's use mobile app. The industry, let's say e-commerce. and for the country, Nigeria. So we can now go back to Zapier. So we've put in all the parameters. We've said, okay, check this spreadsheet, check this worksheet, and this is the trigger column. So we're going to test that first flow. We're going to find new records. And you can see the latest record here, Jumia for GitHub repos. So this is what we're going to continue with. And the next step now, we've added ChatGPT, and the action is to send a prompt. So basically, it takes that information from the first step, takes it to ChatGPT. If you click continue, it now shows you the configuration. What model do you want to use? What is the prompt you want to use? And prompt here is you're a software engineer, expand and clarify the task to create a comprehensive software requirements document. Now we need to separate this information because obviously the name is different from the idea or the category. So Zapier makes it easy because all you have to do is once you've typed out the templates, you just click on plus and it just shows you the last step you took and it shows you all the variables you can pick from it. So for row ID, we'll pick row ID 2. For row number, simply pick the row number. For idea, we pick the idea. See, it's already taken that information. So for the category, we pick the category and same thing for the rest, industry and country. Oh, seems like the country data hasn't registered. So let me check that. Okay. Now that it's in, it should have the right data. So I'll just close and refresh this. Just leave that for now. I think it should be fine. So these are other settings for the prompts. We don't really need to mess with those right now. So we can just click on continue. And to test it, it shows you this is the data going in at this step. You're a software engineer, please expand and clarify. And then this is the data that has come out. It has provided an introduction, product overview, target audience. All of this information has now been provided from ChatGPT. So all you need to do now is continue since we're sure that it works. And the next step is taking that information back to the Excel sheet. So we're using Google Sheets again to create a spreadsheet row. And in the configuration, we're selecting the same spreadsheet, but a different worksheet. So you see, instead of inputs now, we're going to results. And there's some other settings here. For example, idea. This is to map the information we got. So we're going to map this. Oops, sorry, I forgot to explain where this is from. Idea, product requirements, and reply are the content of our results sheet. So you see everything here, idea, product requirements, reply, still empty. So we're going to map it here in the spreadsheet and select it from the last step we did. So idea would be, I'll just go back to this to get the idea. And then product requirements will be the results we got from ChatGPT, which is this response. And for the reply, that doesn't really apply right now, so we can just ignore it. So continue and retest the step. So now this has basically taken that information and created the spreadsheet row in our documents. And you can see it here, Jumia for GitHub repos, all the information, all the project requirements for the application, the details, cart management, checkout and payment, order tracking, wish list, everything. So the next step, and we're just trying to trying to get through it as fast as we can. The next step is to send a prompt to do the development process. So basically now we have the product requirements. We know what kind of app we're trying to create. Now, how do we create it? So for this step, what we're saying is you're an expert software architect specialized in building scalable JavaScript MVPs. You're supposed to analyze the idea, its requirements, and then provide a detailed development plan for building in Next.js. So here we specified feature breakdown, architecture and app logic, authentication strategy, state management. So you see, these two AI agents now, ChatGPT and this one, these two ChatGPT agents, they have their own context and they're working independently of each other, but they're all working together to basically take something from idea to product requirement to the actual development process. So here we can now, okay, for the context, we have the idea. We'll do the same thing we did earlier by adding context here. So in this last step where we created the spreadsheet row, we have the idea. So we'll take that. And then for the product requirements, we have it here since we saved it. We'll take that as well. And what this does is it makes it dynamic. So we don't need to do it all the time. After we've gone through this step, even if it's 20 ideas we have now, all we need to do is just add them to the Excel sheets and everything will happen automatically. So you only need to do this once. So now you can continue and retest those. Those were results from an earlier trial. So now we can see that the data in is this. You're an expert. This was our prompt, but the context is the idea we wanted and the product requirements, which we created earlier. And the data that's coming out now is the development plan, feature breakdown, user registration, checkout and payments, wish list. So it now defines how the app will be built. So we built using Next.js with server-side rendering, easy integration, things like that. So it gives you detailed steps on state management, data security practices, your next step, basically a comprehensive overview of how you can start building the app. And this is done basically, but the information is still in ChatGPT. So we need to move it back to the spreadsheet. For that, we will move on to the next step, which is the Google Sheets. And the action here is to create spreadsheets row, just like the ones before it. So click on continue. The only difference here now is that the worksheets is the third worksheets development. So it's pasting to development and I'm going to retest. So, okay, hold on. I think I might have missed something, but let's just check. We're going to development and yes, there's nothing there yet. So going to check the configuration. Yes, this is what we missed. The idea wasn't mapped. We're supposed to take the idea from the last step, which is here. And then the development process is the information we got from ChatGPT, which is the response. We can now continue and retest the step. Great. So now we have the data coming out is Jumia for GitHub repos, development plan, everything. Continue. And the final step is that it simply sends me a WhatsApp notification once this whole thing has been done. So this is the kind of automation where you can simply have a Google form, and as people are filling the form, these AIs are working behind the scenes to give you all the product requirements you need. And at the end of the day, you get a WhatsApp notification that this has been done, this has been processed. And that's it. That's basically everything it takes to set up your own multi-agent workflow for processing information. It can obviously be a lot more advanced than this. It depends on how much time you put in and the context of the steps. But yeah, I'll just publish this as V10. So that's done. If we check the documents, we can see this is what we typed in ourselves. And all of these are from the AI, basically, GitHub from Jumia, Jumia for GitHub, and then the development plan. So to test it again, this time, since we've done everything necessary, we'll just simply put the idea and have it run by itself. So can I get an idea from someone? Anyone like to try something? You can just drop it in the meeting chat. Thrift shop app. Great. Okay, that is let's say mobile app and websites. And it's an e-commerce app for Nigeria. Now, normally we could have just waited for this, but it actually takes 3 minutes for Zapier to run an automation by itself. So instead of waiting, we will simply come here and say, do a test run. So we'll refresh for it to get the latest record that I just provided. Yeah, just created row E, the thrift shop app, and you just start the test run. So it will simply just go through all those steps we outlined by itself. So now, right now it has found the spreadsheets row. Sent the prompt to ChatGPT, created a Google Sheet. Hasn't been run yet. That's done. And that's it. The entire step has been run, and we can now go and check here. So here we have Thrift Shop app, and if we check the results, you can now see that Thrift Shop app has been added. The introduction. Thrift Shop app is a mobile and web-based platform designed to revolutionize thrift shop experience in Nigeria. It highlights so obviously the more context you provide, the more detailed your app will be. So you can actually enhance this to give you more detailed. If it's Lagos or Abuja, you want to, tailor it to, if you have a certain demographic you want to target it for, all of that information will be put into consideration, and then you can have a fully automated, basically idea generator. And then if we go to the development page, you can see here thrift shop app has already been added, and it highlights all the things you need to create. You need user registration, you need search and filter, you need listing and selling, payment options, chat, ratings and reviews, notifications, everything you need to create a fully production-ready application has been created automatically. So yeah, that's basically how model workflow works. It's basically how model context workflow works. You have a source, and then you have multiple AI agents just doing their own thing. This one focuses on one particular thing. If you give it enough context, it's be able to do that thing well, and then it passes the data on. So Google Sheets is just like the intermediary. It passes the data to Google Sheets, and then the other one picks it up, processes it again, puts it back in the next sheet. And at the end of everything, you get a WhatsApp notification, basically. So it's like having assistants that work for you 24/7. And yeah, that's all we have the time for today on modular context workflow. So I'll just go back to the presentation. And of course, there'll be time for questions after the presentation. We will just keep going for now. The next step is model context protocol. Now, this is a very basic illustration of model context protocol. It gets more advanced than this, but the main thing is that you understand the basic outline, because once you do, then every other thing is just an addition on top of this. And how this works is you send a prompt to your AI agent. It looks through the prompt and says, okay, what do I need to answer this question correctly? Now, there's an MPC server, which is basically the context plus any external tools you might need, like memory, API, GitHub, Gmail, Slack, other things like that. So it has access to a world of data. And basically, the more access it has to these things, the more capabilities the AI agent has and the more tasks it can perform. Now, once your response has gone through this and has been added with the right context, it goes to an LLM, which basically says, okay, this is what we need, this is what we needed, synthesizes all of this together, forms a coherent response, and then sends it back to you. So here, instead of it being just one doing it, well, it's kind of the same, but there's like a number of different tools that come into play. So it's a lot more complicated than just the model context workflow. And we can do a quick demo of that using Grok. Just going to share my screen. Yep. So to quickly demonstrate that, we will just say, write me a detailed, only a now, to show this better, I will turn on deep search. And basically what happens is with Grok, unlike what we did earlier, you're just prompting in one spot, obviously. But then you start to see that there are multiple tools actually working together at the same time. So the research tool is working right now, and it's searching the internet. That's an entirely different tool. It's able to search, look at websites for you, browse the results. And then after browsing, another AI will take the results that it has browsed and do more work on it. So it's almost like the modular context workflow, but completely automated. Now, this is taking a bit of time, but in the meantime, I will just show you more by using Claude as another example. Here with Claude, you can quickly see the different tools it connects to. Here you have desktop extension. So it has a PDF filler, control your Mac. It connects to Spotify as well. It has a Windows MCP server. It has an Enricher MPC server, Cucumber Studio. So all of these are like different tools that you basically plug into your AI to make it more powerful. You can also check here for settings and tools. You see it has web search, drive search, Gmail, and you can even add your own connectors. Now, because of time, we can't really get into installing MCP servers locally. I would love to show you how to do that on Cursor so that you can connect your own MCP server. But there's a website here. It's among the resources that we provided to the Slack group where you can just view a ton of free open source MCP servers that you can connect to. For example, Alibaba Cloud Ops for connecting with cloud APIs. If you're looking for web scraping tools, there's a number of web scrapers here that will basically help you browse websites, get information from them, bring them back, and you can use that to enhance your personal AI, basically. Even if you're just coding and you want to get information from a database or from a website through scraping, you can use any of these to do that. There's also database MCPs that allow you to connect to database like Airtable database, BigQuery, CData, Chroma, and some other things. So we'll try to put more resources in the Slack channel so that you can actually have time to build some of these servers yourself and add them to your workflow for increased productivity. Now let's check on Grok and see what's going on there. Okay. So we can see with Grok, it has basically gone through multiple steps. There was the thinking process. Basically, what it did here was provide research for itself, like we did earlier when we provided the documents, the product documentation. So there's an AI that gives it the research and basically tells it, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it hands that data off to another agent that searches the web and looks for results. Now, once those results are found, it still has to get processed. So it gets processed and then it's highlighted here again as, okay, browsing results. If it needs to go back online, it will go back again and say, okay, browsing dev pro for requirement. So it goes back, browses, and then after getting the information it needs, another AI agent comes to outline the system spec. So it's basically just multiple agents working with each other, just passing the information along. And here you have the final one, finalizing document structure. Even this one was probably formatted by a different AI agent that provided it in this format with Markdown, where you can edit, make some text bold or italics, because if you are using GPT in the early days, none of these used to exist. So all of these are just multiple agents strung together to successfully carry out a task. And basically that's how the modular context workflow works. Now, we're moving on to retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, for devs and teams. And RAG is basically a type of storage for AIs. Instead of you having to submit your Word documents or Excel or PDFs or text documents to an AI, it unifies all of that data into a RAG vector database where it's properly indexed. Think of it as a dictionary, basically. So you take all the information you need or all the information you want to provide through the AI or everything you want to use to train the AI, you convert it into chunks and it's set up in this RAG vector database where it's a lot easier for the AI to simply search for things and find them instead of having to manually read through all your PDFs and text. So how it works is, first of all, the data needs to be prepared into the RAG vector database. And then when you send a prompt to the AI, it essentially just checks for that information and then provides you with a response. And we're also going to have a demo of this using Zapier later. There are two types of RAG. There's native RAG and agentic RAG. Now, for a native RAG, it's just like having a local dictionary for your AI. So how it works is you send a prompt and the AI basically says, okay, do we have that in the dictionary? If it has it, it gives you the answer. If it doesn't have it, it tells you, sorry, I don't have that information, depending on how you set stuff. But for native RAG, that is literally it. It doesn't give you anything outside of the knowledge base you've provided for it. But then agentic RAG is also sort of what we've seen with Grok. And this is something that made Grok so unique when it first came out. I think it was one of the fewer models that really took advantage of RAG. So everyone saw the difference from the very first day. Now, when you send a prompt, it checks its vector database to see if it has that information. If it has the information, it could provide it, but it will also check to see, okay, can I add more to this? So it hands that information off to another agent, just as we've seen earlier. And that agent obviously is connected to its own MCP server, so it could search the internet or connect to API tools. It does all of this and then processes the information, sends it to the AI that basically combines it, removes the parts that are unnecessary, and gives you a complete response. So it's just two versions of the same thing. One is just more advanced than the other. And with AI, as the AI gets more complex, you're going to see more components in the graph, but at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. It's still the same process, just more moving parts. So let's take a moment to do a small demo of the RAG. And we're going to go back to Zapier for that. So coming back to Zapier, we're going to chatbots. Okay, so we have a Tribesquare chatbot here. And the first thing I want to do is, oh, by the way, I think it's probably best. That would be retrieval augmented generation. So, hold on while I check the knowledge. This does have knowledge. First thing I want to do is I want to wipe all the knowledge so that we're basically using an empty chatbot. So this chatbot has very simple instructions. It's the greeting, how can I help you today? The objective is that you are an exceptional customer support representative. Your objective is to answer questions and provide resources about Tribesquare. To achieve this, follow these rules. Answer the question efficiently. If the question is not clear, ask follow-up questions. So basically just, the things, how the AI should respond. And we're going to test this AI with a few questions. Keep in mind, it has no knowledge. There's no knowledge here. So what is Tribesquare? Now, the AI has just assumed the meaning based on the words in the question, but we'll keep asking more to see if it actually knows what it's talking about. It's the official website for Tribesquare. Another assumption, tribesquare.com, because if we check, it's probably not correct. Yes. So it's just guessing right now, doesn't know anything. And the next thing we're going to ask is, what jobs can I get hired for? Okay, still making more assumptions. This AI doesn't want to agree. What can Tribesquare do for me? So still guessing again. So keep in mind, these are the answers we're getting without context or without the knowledge base. Now, one thing Zapier allows you to do with their chatbots is it allows you to easily create a RAG database. You don't need any coding knowledge. Oh, who's the CEO? Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm very sure it will say it doesn't know. Let's just hope it's humble enough to say it doesn't know. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it says the CEO was not specified. It even exposes what training data it's using as of October 2023. So yeah, this AI doesn't know what it's doing. But Zapier allows you to easily create your own RAG database without any coding knowledge. You can use Google Docs and Notion or crawl websites, or you can just upload your file directly. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the website for Tribesquare. Yep, thank you. Tribesquare.co. And we're going to look for other subpages. We're going to take the main subpages as well, like the About, Careers, Blog. Privacy isn't necessary, but portfolio would be good too. So that's 7 sources. I think we can add things like this as well. So now we're going to add all our sources. And basically what's happening in the background is that they have their own web scrapers that will scrape the website to get as much information as possible, then take that information, process it, and store it as a RAG database. So it's taking a bit of time. That should be done soon. Great, all done. So we have a few settings to consider to configure here. It's saying choose how your chatbot should respond when no relevant custom knowledge is found. So if the user is asking something that is not within our knowledge base or the information we've provided, what should it say? So for now, we'll just allow it to show a custom message that says, sorry, I don't know the answer to that. So if what they're asking hasn't been provided, it simply says, sorry, I don't know. All right, we've saved that. Now let's go back to, now let's ask, what's this Tribesquare? Right. And now you see we have better answers. Tribesquare is a software engineering services company dedicated to building data-driven tools aimed at making remote work, learning, and hiring more seamless. Let's take it a step further. What is the official website? For Tribesquare. The official website is tribesquare.co. Feel free to explore. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works. And let's go on. What jobs can I get hired for? And you see that it can actually provide you with the list of jobs and even show you the status. It says here, this is available. We'll just open that in a new tab for now, and this as well. And the rest are closed. So at least we know the ones that are open and the ones that are closed. Let's check the ones we clicked. And sure enough, it's here. You can actually just follow the answer given to you by the AI and apply. The next question is, what can Tribesquare? Right. So now you see we have much more accurate answers compared to earlier. And let's try that extra question we got earlier. Who's the CEO? Yeah, that information was not in our knowledge base. So instead of just guessing or giving a random answer, just sorry, I don't know the answer to that. So with this, you have a chatbot that's smart enough to pick the right information from the right parts of the database you've given it, but also limited enough that it doesn't start hallucinating. And this is basically an example of native RAG, because all it does is it takes the information straight from your the vector database and gives it back to you in the proper format, design, everything. But it doesn't go out like Grok or Claude to find its own information to provide for you. So this is effective, but it's also very safe because now there's less chance of the AI hallucinating and giving people wrong information. So that's our demo for RAG. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I'm very glad to have had you all here in today's session. And we just have a few final takeaways from this lab. AI is your leverage for speed, but it will only provide speed and clarity if you use it the right way. It shouldn't be a clutch that you can't do without. At the end of the day, it's just a tool, and you still need to be in the driver's seat. So moving forward, you need to focus on not just interacting with AI, but designing AI enhanced systems. And you can start by trying out MCP and RAG in your personal product, because the way these things work is the more you use it, the more ideas you will have on what can be improved, how you can make this faster or more accurate or better. And before you know it, you're already having complex workflow that offload most of the work that you would have been doing manually. So as you can see here, there's so many tools that can make your workflow a lot easier if you apply them intentionally. The field is also moving very fast. So at the very least, try to build a foundational understanding. That way, when new advancements come, just a minor upgrade, not a complete learning curve. So be curious, be practical, and be intentional with how you use AI. For further resources, we've created the Slack. We've created this link to the Slack channel so you can join, and there's a lot more detail on how you can create your custom MPC server for your personal projects, even to connect it to your Slack. So you don't need to be answering questions yourself. You can have your AI doing that for you. Or even doing some of the coding if you're able to make those connections. So that way, most of your job will simply be planning, oversight, and reviewing the code made by your AI, making sure everything is as it seems. So thanks very much. That's everything from me today.
Thank you so much, Samson. Thank you so much. That was an awesome presentation. Thank you. Okay, so I can see a lot of people say they have questions. Chris, what's your question? Please go ahead, ask question. So we're going to take a few questions so that you can clarify your if you have something you want him to point out, if you want him to go back to a specific topic he talked about. So let's have it. Chris, please go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Can you hear me, please?
Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. So I was afraid that we're going to take only a few questions because as he was talking, I was writing down my questions because I didn't want to interrupt. So I don't know. Maybe I should just pick the maybe pressing ones and maybe I can send them over in the channel. Maybe we can have a discussion around it.
Okay.
All right. So let me just give, not to take time, I'll just be done in 5 minutes. So I've been playing around with a lot of these AI tools in my personal projects, GitHub Copilot, Gemini Code Assist, and the one that just came out very recently by Amazon, Kiro, right? So they have this agentic workflow where it can actually edit your code. You can actually ask it to come up with requirement documents and whatnot, right? And there's one other one that been really, really helpful in debugging for me, and that's Warp AI. So I was hoping we'd get to see some code and otherwise fine. This is also very, very insightful as well, right? I got some new things here. So my questions. So although we did not look at code, but there's something I've been looking at, I've been experiencing, and I call it context decay. So, you know how you're chatting with ChatGPT on its normal interface, and all of a sudden, because you branched off a bit, it's not able to like answer your question. You've asked a lot of questions, it has been able to answer and guide you through, but you're trying to get it to do something, and it's not able to do that. Like maybe you asked it steps for making a bar and then you asked it steps to furnish a wood. Like, those are two different things. And then you now want it to get to come back to the conversation of making a bar and maybe preparing a goosey soup, right? So there's that likelihood, although I think things have improved, but there's been that likelihood where it's not able to stay on that path and it's just giving you a mix of the wood, furnishing, and eba and everything together, right? So I don't know what the term is, but I choose to call it context decay. So since we're on the context discussion, that's the very first question I have. I don't know if you want to answer that first, or if I should ask another one, then you answer, or I don't know what the workflow is going to be like.
Samson, please
Um,
over to you.
Hello, Chris. Thanks. Yes, the issue of, I think context decay is actually the best term for it because I've also experienced some crazy responses sometimes. But the thing is, especially with tools like ChatGPT, it's all closed off from us. So at the end of the day, it's up to how OpenAI manages the context. Obviously, they've made improvements over the past few months, but right now, I think the only fix, hold on, just to be clear, are you talking about like ChatGPT or Cursor?
Mm,
Because those are
So I'm talking about the tools in general because I've not used Cursor.
general. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've not used Cursor,
Okay.
but I've used some of these agentic what's
Yeah.
it called? Editors and the other ones, right? So it's
Okay.
something I've experienced on ChatGPT, right? And I've seen a bit of it in all these agentic what's it called? IDEs as well. The ones I've
Okay.
used, right? So that's why I'm asking the question.
Okay. So as for ChatGPT, usually the only thing you can do is just open a new tab.
Hmm.
But when it comes to other more advanced use cases like Cursor, I think one of the issues or one of the possible issues is that, especially if you have Cursor on auto, it could be that it is switching models in between your prompts. So maybe the first prompt was ChatGPT 4, and after a while it switched to 3. And there's a limit to how much context 3 can handle. So some of it just starts falling off at that point. To the point where there are sometimes when it doesn't even remember what you're asking it to do. It just gives you a very random um response. So when it comes to prompt management, that is the only thing you can do about it is unless you're designing your own AI system where you have to worry about the memory and retaining context through the prompts. There's really not much you can do about it, otherwise, unless except for just add more context or maybe shorten your context so it's easily digestible by the AI.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just to drop that, there's how I work around that, and if I'm able to, I would ask the AI himself to compile before it starts getting decay. I'll ask it to
Mm,
prepare a document that outlines what it's supposed to be doing and keep that aside. So when I
mm.
open a new context, a new window, or open a new tab in either the agentic workflow or anywhere, I can just drop it in and it just acts as if it already knows everything, and it was like you said, opening a new chat window. So
Yes.
that context is somehow restored in a way,
Yes. It's
right?
kind
So
of
that,
like, sorry to cut you off. Go
no, no, no,
on.
yeah, go on, go on.
It's kind of like if you're working on a database, it's preferable for you to have maybe a JSON file that contains the database schema so that it knows exactly what that database looks like, what the row headers are. Otherwise, it might want to do something. Maybe the row headers is users, and then it would put maybe people or something, that could have been that item, but it's not exactly it, and it starts breaking your code. So it's always good to also have a reference point of your code that you can just plug in as context for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam. That's really helpful. So I think I'll just ask, um, if I don't know if I can ask two more questions. Blessing, am I allowed to?
Yes, you are allowed to ask one more question actually, so that other
Um,
people can ask.
okay,
So
all right, no problem. So I think I'll just pick.
okay, hold on, Chris, hold on. Someone is sent something in the chat saying, how about you create a template prompt? Samson, what do you think about this
Template
suggestion?
prompt. Yeah, well, template prompt will work, but not across like if I need to understand if you're creating a template prompt, is what action are you actually trying to do? Because if you're coding, then after your first prompt, obviously you don't need that template anymore.
So if I want to speak on that as well, so you know how you are trying to get it to do step one, step two, step three, steps four.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
done step 1 to 3 already. That means
Mm,
your requirement has changed.
yeah.
So outside so the template prompt may work for you to get it started, but you also need an update prompt as well. So you need it to tell you what it has done out of all the steps. So you can give it the original one and tell it, okay, this is what we're trying to do. This is where we are. So it just knows, oh, I've done step 1 to 5 or step 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Just continues from there. So I don't know if that answers your questions. Ola, sorry, it's not my show. All right, I'll just stop talking now.
Okay, so you say you have another question. Can you go ahead?
Yes. So I don't know if Zapier works with unstructured data, because the Excel format is basically structured. Um, so for example, let me just state a requirement. So part of my work is to work with the salespeople to get the requirements from the customer, and then draw up something called an architecture, then statement of work and all of that. And all of that can take time because customer requirements can change from time to time and from conversation to conversation. So what would make this of serious value to me right now is if I can just put the customer requirements, the documents they're going to be sending me, and then kind of find a way for it to help me solution some sort of sketch on possible architectures, and then also update or create another document now, like a Word document that details things that I can work with to get me started quickly to deliver back to the customer, right? So just wanted to.
Right.
So does Zapier have that? Or do I have to write my own custom integration? And can Zapier take custom integrations as well? Maybe I write maybe an MCP server that makes it know what to call or thereabout. Or do I have to use another platform? Or do I have to write it from scratch? Or are there tools that we can use to automate that process where all I just need to do is to dump the customer requirement in, it goes in and gives me some sort of write-up, and I can have that updated in the document as well.
Yeah, sure. Zapier does have a number of custom interactions. You can use Python directly. You can write custom Python or JavaScript code for your Zaps. So there's that. But for your question, if it were me, what I would do would just be to open a thread on ChatGPT and just have that template prompt at the top. So basically, that entire thread will be used for customer requirements. So any prompt I put next, I just say and this, and it does that. The next time I don't need to say anything, I just say and this, and just keeps doing the same thing for the duration of that thread. So once you have it structured like that, you can then export it to maybe Zapier or your other workflows.
So there's just
Another thing sorry. Yeah, go
Yes,
on.
there's just one issue with that. So that's me. So what I
Mm.
want to do, Seth, is something that my team can use, right? Even if I'm not there, right? They can just load it up in maybe Google Workspace or maybe AWS or something
Yeah,
and just run, and it's at least it gets them started, right?
yeah.
So even if I'm not there, I'm there. The tool is there running, and they can just upload, and that workflow just works because I think that's what Zapier is trying to do, right? I can add team members, and they can just see my workflow and use anything that I already have pre-built already, right? So I'm trying to look at something where my team members can just utilize to make things really quick.
What if you could use a Google form and you link that Google form to the Google Sheets and then it starts like this process that we showed today.
Hmm. So the thing is that at the end of it, I want a document, something that at least, even if
Mhm.
you just edit.
Yeah.
So a document that already has like my format, oh, they're supposed to have a header, introduction, blah, blah, blah. You know the
Yeah, you
works.
can still do that.
Okay.
You can still do that. It's just a bit more, you need to get your hands dirty and
Okay.
touch some more code.
No
That's
problem.
it.
Not afraid of that. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. If you have more questions, if anyone has a question, please kindly drop in the chat or let us know. Any more questions, guys? Please feel free to ask your questions or any more question, drop in the chat. So for the resources, we're going to be dropping it in the community. So if you're not part of the community yet, there's a link in the chat. I'm going to paste it so you can actually just join now. That's where the resources are going to be. So if you have any other question aside what Samson has taught us today, if you have a question about Worksquare or Tribesquare, please indicate in the chat. Kingsley, I just did that. Can you see it in the chat? I just pasted it. Okay, I just pasted it in the chat. So if you have more questions, drop in the chat. If you want us to continue this conversation, as Chris said, it's going to continue in the Slack channel. And if you want to know more about Worksquare and what we're doing and what we plan for the community, you can ask or be part of the community so you can find out. And Samson, I think you have a question in the chat.
Yeah, are the MCP servers open source? I think a number of them are, but not all of them. We added a number of MCP sources in the resource provided. I'm pretty sure I saw some. But if you check the website mcpservers.com, you'll see a lot of them are verified. So, okay. I think this is for you, Blessing.
Yeah. Okay, so next you're asking for the recordings. I'm going to be pasting the link in the community, so I'll be paying the community to expect the link. We're going to post on our social, so you're going to have access to the full recordings. Hope that answers your question. Please confirm that answers your question. Okay, good. So I actually have a poll. I don't know if you guys have taken the poll that was posted. Is Zapier products of Tribesquare? No, it's not. Samson, please, can you kindly explain to Kingsley?
Yeah, I don't think you can. No, Zapier is not a product of Tribesquare. And for MPC server, I don't think it's open source. I'm trying to look that up now. I know you can publish as an individual. I didn't see anything like that. But yeah, it's something I have to look into. I haven't really looked into whether it's open source or not, but I highly doubt it. If it was, it would have been the first thing on the website.
Chris, I hope that answers, or Kingsley rather, I hope that answers the question too. Or Chris was one that asked if it's open source, okay? So I have a poll. Please take the poll so we can get your. Okay. So quick one. I would like us to take a quick survey. So the survey is just for us to understand what you'd like as a senior developer. Most of the time, we don't really know what's going through your mind. So this will help us understand your preference and know what we should do better. So I'm going to be pasting this. So I'm going to paste it now in the chat so you can just quickly take the survey. It's just to understand what works best for you, the kind of money you're expecting to be paid, things around that. So quickly take it so we can get the information and work on it.
All right. So can I say something? Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So I just want to talk about, I was the one that dropped the template prompt. So I'm sorry to take us back. I was struggling with my audio, wanted to just chip in a few things regarding template prompting. So, I'm just trying to answer Chris's questions about when AI hallucinates and starts giving you what you do not expect. So the beauty with template prompting is if you have your architecture already set for your project, be it a modular monolith, DDD, event sourcing, CQRS, whatever it is, right? You could create a template that for every time, so let's pick DDD for example, for every time you want to build a domain or a boundary context, right? You already know that you need your application layer, your infrastructure layer, and a couple of layers, right? And what you just do is you create a template prompt, and every time you create a template prompt, save it in a .md file, and every time you need to create a service, right? You just run it, and AI keeps asking you, okay, so what do you want to do? What kind of events do you need? What kind of listeners do you need? What kind of projectors do you need? Are you working on the right? And he asks you this question one after the other, and you just put in the names, and it creates all these files, creates all your aggregates for you automatically, right? So it takes away, things that I would tag as boilerplate codes, right? They were not boilerplate codes before AI, but now they are now boilerplate codes. So it takes that away from you. So you just focus on your domain, which is your business logic, and you can, finish up, your application in no time. So I just wanted to drop that there. That's what I was referring to as a template prompt. And you can have multiple template prompts, store them in your .md file, save them on Git. So even if you have a new developer joining your team, you share that with them. And anytime they want to create a boundary or a domain or a module, or even if it's a monolith that a lot of developers are used to, the whole MVC thing, you could prompt AI with the template prompt in your .md file and make it reusable. I need to ask you step-by-step questions in the template. Is it a controller? Is it a view? Is it a model you want to create? And just put the name in there, and voila. It works like magic. So that way AI does not hallucinate again, because in your prompt, the rule is, you give the AI a role, and then after the role, you give it the question, and then you give it the requirements. So you'd have listed all of that in a single prompt. So that's just what I wanted to pass around. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olaniyi. Thank you. That was really insightful. So I guess, Chris, we have different angles and you're clear with your questions. If anyone has a question, please feel free to drop. If you have contributions, feel free to let us know. So we would like to hear you. We'd like to hear what you have to say. This is a free space, okay? We are all part of the community. We are all together in this. So we're here to learn from each other. So feel free to drop your suggestion, your opinion, your questions, your contributions. We'd love to hear it. So please kindly take the survey. I pasted the link in the chat. Kindly take it so that we can get to understand the type of job you like, the type of pay you prefer, what model of job do you like? Do you like remote only? Do you want to be paid 2 million, 3 million? I mean, please kindly take the survey so we can get those information from you. That's what we're going to use. And that's what we're going to present to our clients that's asking for capable hands like you. And if you're not part of the community yet, kindly join the community. Join the community now. Okay, so the pool, I'm going to be ending the pool now. If you have not taken the pool, kindly do that also. I'm going to be ending it now. I'm going to be ending it. So let's talk about other things that we have in stock for our community. Well, we like to keep it a secret in the circle, but I think I would love to give us insights a little bit. So we want our community is going to be going to be the powerhouse of Africa in terms of quality talent, in terms of resources, talent, more like the next big thing or the next free code camp that you see out there. So the purpose of this is for us to ensure that everyone is able to access resources, materials, we're able to share it among each other in the community. So, for example, this particular resource we're going to be sharing was populated by Samson. So someone else is going to be doing the same thing. So we can learn from each other in the community and also grow while we work on projects and make more money in the community. Okay, so what's your address on someone who is interested in becoming a developer? Oh, what's your tech stack? What do you do? Okay, what do you do first of all, so that I can give you an advice? Because I didn't know other people might be interested in developers. Oh, okay. Well, if you're interested in becoming a developer, I think you should take the step, enroll for boot camps, join communities, pay for learning materials, pay for resources that will help you. Most importantly, be part of a community that can actually help you grow. So I know everything sounds very strange because this is meant for senior developers. So they've gotten to the point where they understand these concepts. So that's why it sounds strange to you. But you get there, actually, just gradual process. Definitely get there. So if you have packages for beginners, we'll definitely put it out there for beginners to be part of. So for now, it's senior developers we are focused on at the moment. So in the community, we also post jobs. I mean, that's the core reason why we have the community. We post jobs from different clients, from our clients actually. So stay active in the community. That's actually very important to us. If anyone has more questions, please ask. Okay. I just ended the poll. I can see a lot of people for AI, they prefer to use it for debugging, writing tests, documentation. That's nice. Okay, AI assistants. Obviously, AI is the real deal right now. So everyone needs to jump on it. A lot of people prefer midnights. I think I prefer that too. Okay, that's fine. So if you're here to follow us on social media, please kindly do that. I just pasted the link in the chat also. So I'm going to repaste it now just in case you didn't see it when I pasted it. I'm going to do that again right now. So follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and let's do a quick networking session. So if you have your LinkedIn profile link, kindly paste it in the chat so that someone can actually connect with you. Let's do that quickly. A quick networking section. So paste your LinkedIn profile link. Let someone connect with you in the chat. Sure. You definitely get the recording. So please paste your LinkedIn profile so that we can connect with you. Okay, let's connect with each other. We have how many people left in the chats? Paste your LinkedIn so someone can connect with you. Okay, I can see someone pasted there. Please connect with each other. Let's do that quickly. Connect. You don't know who is holding your next job or your next glory. Connect with each other in the chat. Please go ahead and introduce yourself actually. Okay, hold on. Please hold on. Let's finish up with the LinkedIn then. Okay. So please connect with each other quickly. Let's do that. Click and connect on LinkedIn. If you're feeling shy, please feel free. This is actually a very safe place. You don't have to be shy about participating in things like this. Okay, nice. Okay, so Chris, we wanted to fine. Let's introduce ourselves. one at a time.
Oh, I meant in the channel, in the channel.
I can't hear you. What did you say?
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Please go ahead, Chris.
I said in the channel, not here, not here. No.
Okay, in the channel. Oh,
Yeah.
it's there actually.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't worry, you're going to get the information that you need.
Okay.
The channel. So if you're yet to paste your LinkedIn, and ensure to connect with each other, or not just paste link and disappear. Connect with other people that have pasted their own link too. I want to say thank you so much for everyone that came. The ones that are here, you're going to get more information on our next event, because obviously we're going to host another event, another one. The purpose of the community is to ensure that your growth is important to us. So want to see you grow, want to see you learn new things, new concept that helps you as a developer. So we take that very serious. So we're going to be launching more avenue for your growth, for collaborations, and things that benefits you actually. So that's why we're here. Please, the networking session is still on. Let's keep pasting our links, because we still have lots more people that have not pasted theirs. We have how many? I'm just seeing 10 people pasted their links, and we have over how many people in the chat? Why are you guys shy? Why are you shy? Samson, you're asked to paste your link. Samson, please paste your link so that people can actually connect to you on LinkedIn. Please paste your link. So let's hold on for Samson. He's going to paste his link in a minute, so you can network with him. So while you're in the community, if you have questions, if you want to say collaborate, if you want to communicate with anyone, just you're going to get message. Obviously, you're going to get notification on how to navigate through the community channels in the community. So it's that, and we have lots of events coming up. As I said, they are geared towards ensuring you keep learning and keep advancing in your current skills. And we are rolling out mentors soon for the next big thing that we're building. So let's say that also, and many more things in the community. Everything is in the community. Just please stay active. Stay active in the community. Don't just join and let it go like that, because I might post something and you will not be there to see it if you're not active. So ensure to stay active in the community. Also follow us on social media. So if you're not yet following us, please do that quickly. The reason why we're asking you to follow us, because we might be holding your next big job. If I can tell. I'm holding your next big job. So this is our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. So we also have our Instagram. So if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, please do. On Instagram. So please, let's do that quickly. So if you're yet to connect with anyone in the chat, go ahead and click on their link and connect with them right now. There's no tech event without connecting or networking. It's important we network with each other. So I have one question that I usually ask, so I'm going to ask it now. So with the rise of AI, do you guys think it's going to take our job? I want the response in the chat. Do you guys think the AI is going to take our job as engineers? Any response in the chat, please? Do you guys think the AI is going to take your job as an engineer? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? Do you think AI is going to take your job? Okay, this is reduces the workload. Someone said, well, I think our role as engineers will evolve. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Not everyone, but it will definitely make things tougher for newcomers. That's actually correct. That's actually correct. That's correct. One more question. How hard is the job market right now? How hard is the job market? How hard is it? How hard is the job market? Or is it very easy? I need your comments in the chat. How hard is the job market at the moment? But we're all good. We're not having issues in the job market, right? Okay. Okay. Hard. Okay, Chris says hard. Abigail says hard. I used to figure it out. Oh, wow. Okay. Charles, you should never feel guilty for using AI. The most important thing, make sure you know what you're using it for. Don't just do copy and paste whatever you see there. AI is to enhance, not to replace. Just it's going to give you a bunch of codes. You have to go through it and make sure that it's actually what you need. And only take the ones that works for you so that you can be able to fix issues when it arises. So Olama said the job market is really hard, especially getting a callback only to face live coding challenge. I understand. I actually understand how that feels. I understand how that feels. Okay, job market is tough. Interesting. Do you think if you have now another question? Do you think if you have do you guys think if you have more innovations, it's going to increase demand in jobs? What do you guys think? Yeah, yes or no? If there are more innovations and less startup closing up back and forth, do you think it's going to help? I need answers in the chat, please. More innovations, will it decrease the number of people looking for job? No answer. Okay, stable startup might help, honestly. Okay. Nice to stable startups and not most of them closing up. They'll keep hearing after raising fund, they only get to see them anyway. Well, I hope we are gearing towards building our own innovation, our own products. Okay, Ansley, the question is, do you think if we have more innovations, it's going to reduce the amount of people that are currently looking for job? Is it lack of innovation that is making the whole job market this saturated. Okay, I don't think it's have much markets. Okay. Okay, so please let's take a quick I just put the link. Kindly go to the link and we would like to hear your feedback on today's events. We'd like to know what you think. This will actually allow us to do more and do better. So let us know what you think. Let us know, get your feedback. Let us get your feedback on this because that's how we'll that's the only encouragement that we need from you. So let's get your feedbacks, please. Also join the community if you have not done that already. I want to say a big thank you to Samson. Thank you so much for teaching us today. We really learned a lot. In fact, I need to go back to watch it again because my book is full. I learned a lot. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot. And I'm sure you also learned a lot. Thank you so much for being our facilitator for today. If you're interested in also being part of the mentors that come up and teach us things, we'll use a form in the community where you can actually show your interest. Let us know, oh, I would like to take up a specific topic, teach us a specific thing. We want to learn. We always want to learn something new. So this is the only way we can actually grow as developers and as a person too. So as individuals. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much. If you've not taken the survey, the feedback survey, the feedback, or if you've not clicked it yet, please kindly click it. Do that now so that we can have your feedback. I'm actually looking at the form at the moment. So I want to see your feedback rolling in. Like I want to see it rolling in right now. And if you've not taken the survey yet also, please take the survey. Okay. Please take the survey. You have not taken that. Every other information that you need will be in the community. The resources that are put together for you will be in the community. If you have more questions, more clarity, we're going to meet in the community. Any concern, let's have that in the community. We are all there to grow together and be together. Okay, I can see a lot of people have taken the first survey. Please take the feedback form. I'm only seeing 2 persons. What's going on? Let's take that, please. Let's quickly do that. Okay, I'm seeing people rolling in now. Okay. So please take the feedback. So we'll know the next thing we're going to come up and teach everyone. If you're interested in teaching or taking one of the events, our labs, we're going to roll out a form for that in the community. So you get to fill up and let us know what your interests are. If you've not followed us on social media, please do that now. Do that right away. Because we'd like to keep you informed. Because some of the things that we're going to be doing also are going to be posted on our social media handles. So be sure to follow us on all platforms so that you can stay connected. Okay, I can see your feedback. I need more people to give us feedback, please. More people, please. More people, feedback. This is the only way we can actually have more events like this. Soon we can have more events like this. So once again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. And I hope you learned a lot. I hope you are smarter at your job now with the new knowledge you just added to your knowledge. I hope you made a lot of notes. And I hope you're able to connect with people that are here. If you have not done that yet, I'm reminding you now to scroll up and connect with people. Do that now. A lot of people have not taken the survey yet. Please take the survey. I can see a lot of people have not taken it yet. Compared to the number of people we have here. Please take the survey so we can get to know what you want. And also give us a feedback so we can know what you prefer for our next topic. So do so now if you haven't. And if you have not joined the community yet, do that right away. Thank you everyone for coming. We really appreciate your presence and we hope to see you in our next event. Thank you. Thank you, Anselm. Thank you so much. I haven't shared my LinkedIn. Oh, okay. Now that you just reminded me. Okay, I'm going to be doing that now. Our time is almost up already, so let me just do that now. In case you'd like to connect with me, feel free to do so. That's my LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me and hope to see you in our next event. And this is where we say close the day. Say good night, everyone.